What's up? Good morning. I hate to disappoint. I wasn't really planning on doing readings. I know it's Everything Tarot, and I know I need a new intro for the Early Bird podcast, but it's early, so I decided to do it. They said it couldn't be done, but here we are with a podcast. This is going to be a different pace, a different kind of change of gears here. I kind of want to drop some knowledge, right? And kind of tap into like more of a collective business kind of mindset, really. Kind of get our heads right for the day, for thinking ahead. I don't know, I guess just kind of like sharing thoughts on my mind. Episode 1. Yeah, I'm not really running with the list like that. Like I said, I hate to disappoint. This is just a totally different format. We're not gonna do early bird podcasts probably that often, because I just don't get up that early. But I wanted to do something different. I'm gonna do something different. It's just what I don't know. I've had it slated for a while, and again, I'm challenging myself and I don't know, the status quo in general, because again, they said it couldn't be done. No reading. We're gonna read later on a different one with a different title. But for right now, although I am going to switch it up even further, because I always keep you guessing, I am going to pull some cards for us to talk about through this episode. So again, it's going to be a fresh approach. It's going to be something different. Again, I'm always trying something that hasn't been done, not for the sake of it, but again, I just don't see it. I don't know. So we're going to do a podcast with a reading for the podcast, but we're also going to just getting into general thoughts and feelings. Anyway, loving the music though. Loving throwing out this vibe. I appreciate everybody coming out today. I do want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Blue, what's up? What's up? We've been seeing you around. Thank you again for joining us. Love seeing you. Right? Alish Bob, Jared, friends of the channel. Pretty brown eyes. Welcome. Haley, Isis, what's going on? Morning to you. Morning to you, love. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate that, Jaren. That's dope. That's dope of you. I appreciate that. Understanding, you know? That's just where we've been led to be. So I'm just gonna let this music kind of roll. I'm gonna pull some cards here for us today for the Wake Up Early Bird podcast. What's up, early birds? Get your vibes right, get your mind right. I know I need to. You know, it kind of came to me in a haze, in a fog, in a veil of a mist. You know, and it was a hypnotic kind of a trance, right? And it was a flash of strength, right? Sure as the card in front of me was a flash of strength, and I seen an opportunity there, right? I've seen an opportunity for basically every kind of the reality in which it was that I wanted to be living, right? But it was phasic. It was not fixed. It wasn't set, right? It was a vision, you know? It was a possibility of what could be, but not a guarantee. And so I was challenged to do something with that, right? I was challenged yet again to do something with that. Let's take a look. You know what? I might open up the phone. Yeah, you know what? That's why we have them here. I'm not mad at that at all. Of course, I appreciate any donations. Donations greatly appreciated for that message. But yeah, I'm gonna open up the phone line. So feel free to call in if you want to chat with the podcast, right? That's what it's there for. That's what it's there for. Like I said, we're flipping scripts. Anyway, I did want to share this with y'all, right? Share with you spread that we got for today over on today's podcast for us to be talking about. Of all people. Oh, this is my old neighbor. There we go. Gotta do the neighborly thing. Up early trying to order some groceries? Feel that, feel that. Yeah, let's go through the chat a little bit here. Yeah, Jaren says, enjoying the vibes, whatever you have to give. You're the coolest. You are the coolest. Yeah, we're going to be reading later on today. Probably 12, right? Probably noon. We're going to drop some reading, go live again, and definitely 7. Always 7. Never, never not 7. Well, sometimes it's 8, but I really try to do the 7. But y'all know me. 7 means 8. Anyway, this time suits you though. 8:24 p.m. Nice, nice. Well, then I'll try to wake up more early for you. Again, that too, I wanted to change the format for other people so that way, you know, everybody can get a chance to be up and around. Trying to order some groceries. I heard that. Isn't that cool? Like, you can like just order groceries. I'm still getting used to it all. Honestly, it's a bit much for me. I don't know why they have to. It feels more complicated. It is more complicated, even though I guess it's supposed to be simpler. It is simpler. I don't know. That's my archaic mind trying to adapt to the times of like, it's easy. It's easy having these groceries come in, you know? Oh, you just order it, right? Just put a list together. Just put it, you know? Any information, it's wild. Yeah, I mean, no doubt for you, Isis. I believe it. I mean, imagine you try to be getting everybody, you know, try to get that thing done right now. Oh, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. Honestly, that's like, right? But society's just getting faster paced. It really is. You know? It's like, oh, that's a lot of time you're saving, but you don't even have that time anymore. You literally are like, things moving so fast that you're like, don't even have, wouldn't have had the time to do that. Literally, you have to have that. It's not even like an option at this point. You know what I mean? That time's been sucked up. It's been, you know? You got 18 other things you need to do this morning. Yeah, you know? Oh, Blue, I understand. I appreciate your communication, you know. Now we can, you know, I could do better planning, I guess. Future planning. You know, whenever people are on, that type of deal. But morning vibes, morning rock. That's where we're at. Keep on my coffee and keep on my train of thought here. But yeah, episode 1, right? The Wake Up Early Bird podcast. Bad news is good news. And sometimes that's okay, you know? Already we got 10 of Wands over here in the future position. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work, people. You know, I said this was a business podcast. I said this was a growth cast. I said if you wanted to be over here, you're going to be over here because you were growth oriented and you wanted to see, you know, a surge of positivity, love, peace, and growth in your life. And that's going to come from digging down, digging in, and getting at it, right? So as much as this is a formulation for you, this is really a formulation for me, right? I know, especially with the COVID, right? And we got to be adaptable as ever. We got to be on top of it as ever. And we can't be falling behind in times that want to drag us down. You know, it's kind of like the pressure cooker makes the diamond, or, you know, disintegrate, right? And are you going to deflate or, you know, harden, strengthen, right? Accumulated density of, knowledge and strength over here. So, Knight of Wands, rushing into taking actions of growth, right, for us over here on this episode. And this is really the start, right? This is this is that scrappy energy where we're ready for a challenge. We're ready to say, you know what? I don't know everything. I don't know how this podcast is gonna go. I don't know how this morning's gonna go. I don't know how this channel's gonna go. I don't know how this business is gonna go, this path, but I'm scrappy. I want some. You know what I mean? I want a piece. I want some of that growth. Right? So I'm gonna go after it. I'm gonna get after it because I'm hungry. Right? And here we are, sitting in a place of stability. With this Four of Wands. Sitting in this growth energy, but, you know, we've gone from the active principle to the passive principle here, you know, and this is gonna happen. You're gonna come to a point where you've reached some type of a ledge, right? Where you've reached a plateau, you know, and this happens with anything. This happens with, you know, strength training. This can happen in connection or relationship. This could be called a friend zone in some situations, some cases, a place of comfort and stability, which we don't want to challenge, maybe, or which requires a challenge in order to move forward, right? As much as this is stability here, these are also gates. The gates are closed, you know? You have to go through the gates, right? You have to go through the toll. You have to pay the toll. You have to pay the toll troll, you know, with that action, by walking through, by stepping through, right? By penetrating the barrier, the obstacle, the toll, right? The token for entry over here that's required for growth. And, you know, that's whenever we break the stability with that challenge, with our response to that, you know, barrier, right? And that's when everything gets shaken up, because we leave the zone of comfort at that point. We're asking for discomfort, right? We're asking for vulnerability. We're asking for, you know, we're opening the potentiality for rejection, for things not going our way, for deception, for a lot of stumbling, you know, steps, you know, possible pitfalls, potential pitfalls, and all this is cumulative, additive. What's going on, Yasmin? What's going on, Starry? I'm hanging out. We're doing the Wake Up Early Bird podcast. I appreciate the love. We are definitely going live at 12 and at 7. And for right now, I'm just dropping energy for, I don't know, really for me, for business minds, for to get our day started, and I don't know, just for posterity's sake, to say that I did it for this Early Bird podcast. We're probably gonna keep doing them, you know, probably not consistently, but whenever I'm on at this time, I'm gonna be doing the Early Bird podcast, and this is just for business minds. I'm gonna get out some thoughts as far as building and really orienting for today and going forward on the minds of business, and probably like, you know, the collective, and I don't know, just like different trends I'm seeing arise, and different moving, running, you know, thought forms, the pieces, the gears that are clicking in here in society and economically, you know, the world over. We're definitely looking at the 11th house. We're looking at we're interested in astrology here. What else? We're interested in a lot, so we're just gonna keep digging in. I pulled a tarot. You're saying, why do we have tarot cards here? I pulled a spread for the episode, for the podcast. We're gonna be talking about these points. I feel like these are important aspects of what we're working with here, in this first episode. So these are going to be tools to help us move through this journey of this episode. My time zone is Central Standard Time, so 12 Central Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time are going to be times that I'm going to be going live for 7 I'm going live for readings. 12 I'm probably going to go live for Zodiac. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to go live for Zodiac, but yeah, no buts. That's probably how that's going to go. I'm up early today, but hey, I'm busy. I'm doing TikTok. I'm expanding. If you want a reading with me, maybe do something private. If you know, try to find some time there, pick it up. Otherwise, I'm doing a lot of collective stuff. I'm expanding my horizon as big as possible because I want to impact as many people as possible. There's continue to be a driving factor and idea for this channel, right? We have to get bigger. We must get bigger, both for the channel and for me, because in so many ways my contribution to the channel is the channel, right? You know, this is the channel right now. What's representing the channel? This podcast, right? And how because that's what's live, that's what's going on right now under this account, right? By me and as much time and ideas I can invest into it, the more of an impact it could be. This is different because different people are going to be turned on by this, right? And so different and a different time slot, so even different people are going to be awake and available for this, right? So we're touching on different vibrations, right? We're impacting different areas of life in different ways. In this way, I'm trying to cover more of a base, get more of a spread to, again, impact as many people in as different and organic a way as possible. What I'm not trying to do is contrive it. I'm trying to keep it organic to me, to my lifestyle, and to what's being led. And so, right, a complete left turn, a complete sudden shift, side street over here in the podcast lane. Why? Because why not? Because I dare to be challenged. I dare to challenge the status quo, and that's what it is that we're actually talking about right here with this Four of Wands. It says we're comfortable, but we need to challenge that. We need to force our way through the gates. I mean, we've pulled up on our horse to the gates of stability and said, look, things are going really great, or you know what, maybe they're not, right? And we're keeping this open, right? For people who are rocking with this message, for those who are tuned in, tapped in, right? These energies are here for you. This is your episode just as much. I really feel, because it's just not a lot on the, out there. In general, as far as, hey, viewership, there's, you have a better chance of finding any other video, I'm sure, but you're here for a reason. Anyway, I see this Four of Wands sitting here saying, look, these are the gates. I see this Knight of Wands. This is us rushing in to take that action, take that passionate growth and saying, yes, I'm on this mission. Yes, I'm growing through this. And, I'm led on this journey, walking down my path here, riding this horse down my path because I'm charging, right? And, we're up here at these gates of, between comfort and action and doing the work, the physical, right? From the 4 to the 5, and we are the 1. The difference, beginning this cycle or continuing the cycle beyond that of stability into work. And then here it is, 5 and 10. We're making the difference, the choice between, basically picking up the work, picking up the, whatever it is that you want to represent work here. Here it is, a bundle of sticks, picking up the bundle of sticks, picking up the logs, picking up, the reins, picking up whatever, picking up the workload, right? We're going to push this thing forward. We're going to drive it forward. And, that's just no two ways about it, especially whenever you're on your own or you have to depend on yourself or, whenever, basically, those type of things. We're over here. A lot of this, we're talking about entrepreneurship, right? A lot of this, we're talking about, being out on your own, being independent, right? Whenever nobody else is watching over you, right? Whenever no one else is forcing you to do your thing, whenever you just stuck contemplating, saying, hey, look, I'm going to do my thing really regardless, right? People might have an expectation of a certain foundation or stability that you've set up. And, honestly, you're charging into that growth because you're offering opportunities beyond the mundane, beyond the simple, into, honestly, what's going to be more work here, but there's more of a spiritual connection to this cycle. Whenever we can recognize the plot points, right? The little blips that are basically challenging the status quo. And in fact, it's that push, knocking down the doors, knocking down the gate, right? And we end up in a place where the work is us and we are the work, right? We are the change. We are the writer, the person going through the toll booth here, the one on the other side. We find our way into doing work, but this only comes off of a spiritual awakening or reasoning for why it's important and necessary to leave comfort or stability in the first place. Nothing wrong with it, but it is but a ledge to a further point. It's what we use to dig in. It's the good meal before a work day. It's the coffee before the podcast, right? I don't expect everybody to understand what it is that I'm doing here. I don't. I think people after this are going to understand. I think that's why this is more longevity. It's a podcast format. And so, people are going to be disappointed. I think. I really do. There's not instant satisfaction here. There's no instant gratification with this podcast. I'm not going to give you anything that's, directly, specifically for you as an individual. And, nobody does that. Nobody really does that. Nobody's really specifically, just giving stuff to you specifically. Not without asking for something in return. Right? And so, well, I did have to go to sleep at some point. Early bird, you the night owl. I guess I'm the early bird in this scenario. Chirp, chirp, chirping away. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, No, yeah, this is the Wake Up Early Bird podcast. I had to get on here, get on the horn, right? Do my thing, get on the microphone. But like I was saying, we've come to, what was I saying? Well, you come to a point, you come to a place where, where you got to dig in and basically challenge that foundation in order to, and that stability in order to see more growth through, through our work. Right? Through putting in something, doing something physical. I'm getting after growth here. So I see this as a ledge. I see this as a stepping stone. I see there as a base of comfort right now. But I also see that we need to go past that. We need to go through the gates. Use this as a springboard, this comfort, instead of a bed to just lie down in. And I do see a lot of work here in the future. But as an entrepreneur, as someone who's business, growth, career oriented, someone who's meant for this podcast, that's what you're up for. That's what you're up against. That's what you're here for, right? This shouldn't be any news or surprise to us. But I don't know. Again, it's reassuring, but it's also tempering, right? In the same way, right? when you take that, that red hot, white hot fucking, sword or whatever and quench it, right? Throw it down in the oil. I think it is. I think they use oil. I don't even think they use water, for some applications. And it, that screaming hot, quenching process, right? Blacksmithing. That is, kind of what we're doing here, right? With our expectation, it's a shock, but it hardens. And in that same way, it's a 10 of wands here, right? It's as much burden, as much work as possible as what we're being called to is a challenge here. Absolutely. Especially if you're involved in any type of light working, anything like that. You're involved with the collective. I think getting out these messages, I don't think it's easy street. I don't think we have it quite cut out as people might believe. I don't think anything is really that easy or that simple. I think people take looks at it and it might seem that way, but things are orchestrated. We all have challenges. We all have a Saturn somewhere, and we all have something to grow through. Hey, I appreciate the love. Yeah, we got on here. We were, and this is more of a business career type of get your mind right for the morning, for the business coming through. Man, you can feel free to call in if you want to, man. But we out here, right? Doing our thing. I'm dropping a reading here for this episode. These are going to be the energies present. We're going to talk about these through the episode, and get out some positivity for the people. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, there's a point, there's a time when we're called to. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing also, 10th house here. With all this burden, all this work, it comes with, we're building our organization, right? Aren't we? And we're coming from this place, this foundation of, this foundation of foundation, right? With this 4 energy of the 4 of wands. And here we are, the rider, the one, right? Bounding through this process, this cycle, challenging ourselves to greater levels of growth. Being required, being called on to build our organization, right? Again, to bring this to the people. We are the ones who are bringing this to the people. And so we are, again, the 1 in this 10 who is formulating this 11. And this is our journey, and we are the difference. We are what makes the difference here, right? The one who is bringing about change, right? Change and a revolution through our deeds and through what it is that we've built. So like I say, I guess okay. So like I say, once I had the realization that, this is more about effectiveness, then I was challenged to say, okay, you know what? I realized that people are going to be challenged by me challenging their foundation, right? This is where we get interesting, because in that same way or similarly, and I said that a lot of this is going to be about this channel, right? This is the bad news. This is the bad news. That's the good news. I actually get to help you more, and I get to help more people, but I have to do it in a way that's going to take away from your instant gratification right now. And that's going to sting for a lot of you, because I've trained you on instant gratification. I've given too much. I've been too free. I've been too easy. I wanted to grow. I wanted to love. For those who, found this channel, right? Like Scooter here, right? We're in the Wake Up Early Bird podcast. Like I said, that's the disappointment, because I'm not here to read right now, right? This is for waking up. This is for getting geared up for business and career. This is a unique format where I'm doing a reading for the episode and for the people who have been led into this episode, because this is while we're working on our path through growth, finance, and career, right? That's what this is about in this format. Seeing success in our organizations. Excuse me. And working with that. So as I was coming back here, as I was saying, all right, this is a challenge now. The thing is, the situation becomes flipped. It becomes reversed, right? This is a judo of energy. Me reaching a certain level or ledge within this organization, right? Me reaching a certain point where I've seen a certain level of stability in my growth, but now I've reached also a plateau and a stopping point, you know, where things have slowed down, has required me to take that same energy and to reverse it and present it outward. Because otherwise, I am embodying or embedding that energy within this channel, this experience, and this platform. Can't be done. Can't be done, right? And so the challenge now is again to the stability of the people in the stability that I've been offered, right? And so the question is that what we're comfortable with? Is that what we really want, right? By shaking up this dynamic, it's created a burden of a challenge here, if you want to see it that way. But ultimately, it's going to require more work. We're going to have to pick up a new kind of spiritual cycle here in association with the channel and in association with our refinding, right? Coming back to our stability here within this platform, and here in our growth on our path, right? Because we're being offset, you know. And so just as everybody was used to coming by and getting, oh, bam, 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 free readership, instant access, direct private reading, when it came out, people asking 2, 3, 4 questions, clarifications, right? We're doing too much. We're missing the point. We're missing the point of what this platform is here and meant for, right? This isn't meant for a personal, private, one-on-one type of platform. Even in this podcast platform, we are sharing this with the world, right? We are sharing this with everybody for the benefit of everybody. And so, this is really a different format for a different thing. Maybe this is a teachable moment. But going the ones by the ones, this isn't a case study type of channel. I don't intend for it to be, right? Through my work, right? Through those who support, right? What it is that I'm saying, through the messages that I'm delivering, right? Those who are resonating with the connection that's here felt, then that can lead to private sessions, right? Private engagements that allow for further individualized growth and personal growth and self-study. But beyond that, this channel and this platform is here, right? Primarily in this format, right? Of these videos to engage with the collective and with the public in general, to dispense different thinking and different kinds of messages that, again, some people might feel led and so resonated with to seek further growth and guidance through. And if that's not you, then it might not be you. But there has to come a point where the gates have to close and the challenges have to come up. And just so as my growth has been challenged, now your growth too is challenged, right? All of our growths are being challenged, and this isn't for a bad thing, but our stability has been destabilized so that we can seek further and we can journey further, right? Because it's been too easy for us, and now we've reached a bottleneck in our growth. We have. The bad news is the good news. This might not be what you want to hear. But this challenge to stability is going to make us stronger. We're going to be stronger on the other end of it, right? I may be weaker now because it's a narrow platform. It's a narrow ledge. What if the people abandon me, right? What if everybody unsubscribes because I'm not getting my free readings right now, right? I don't believe that's the case. It can't be the case, or it's necessary for growth, and the people who do stay are going to be that much stronger for it and through it. But we're just getting started. It's not so individualized, right? We're talking about a movement. So again, I want to spread that out, because I could be with one person, I can read, read, clarification. I'm appreciative, but what does that do for the collective? What does that do for everybody else? And if I can take one message and turn it into who knows how many messages, and if that many more people see that much more growth, then the world is moving that much more in flow or in tune. And for me, the impact is much higher. For me, I'm doing more and effecting more change through those messages, through that way. And so in that way, I think that's how again we see a return to stability. Because then again, it's challenging you to do a little more work through these messages, right? And on another notion though, it's challenging me to again dig into a deeper, right, into the collective subconscious, into really a different vibe, different zone, to take on more. I feel like the burden is heavier here. It seems simple, navigating specific things or simplistic, endeavors or details, but to tap in on the collective transformation or shift, I think what it is we're really being challenged to question our stability in our foundation here versus what it is that we're trying to build, right? And what kind of an impact that is that we're trying to make. And so this is very much the 4th, 10th, and 11th house episode here. And if there's any sign correlation, Cancer, Capricorn over here, right? Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and we're plodding through this thing. And what we're going to come to discover, I think, is that what's comfortable and stable isn't always what's best for our growth, right? Appreciate that. We're affecting discipline over here. We're doing things. We're challenging the quo. I appreciate everybody who's joined us over here, right? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the Brother P Plus Radio. Facts over here. I'm saying. And so all of our stabilities, our foundations are being challenged here, have been challenged just through this moment. But we're only being challenged to step through the gates, right? Channel hasn't gone anywhere. Still over here. We're still dropping messages, right? There's still stuff in here that messages of transformation, love, and growth, right? Bringing peace. But it's different though. It's transformed, and we're challenging the stability of what it is that maybe we've grown accustomed to or comfortable with, because there's still more. There's yet more. We are still learning. We are still growing. We are still changing and transforming. And so the latest challenge is just a challenge to one iteration, ideation of what this channel has become. And we're not going to be pigeonholed. So I challenge y'all with this podcast. There's not a... Well, no, I'm not doing any reading. Plus, man, I'm not doing any reading. This is strictly for the minds. Feel free to call in, right? If you want to speak, if you want to talk on the podcast, you want to share your thoughts about growth and aspects towards expanding this thing, expanding our minds and our paths here, our 10th house. Or if you have any comments, right? You want to talk about anything that I've said so far, any of the changes being made. If your growth is being challenged, I want to hear about it. Let me hear about it. Let us know what you got in the comments as well. But yeah, there's something here for us that's challenging everything, and that challenge is growth, right? Growth over stability, because things have reached a bottleneck and it's time to break through, but we got to use spirit to do so. And what's the best spiritual aspect we can make, coming from the 10th house? We already got our philosophy. We got to bring it for the good of the people. And so we've got to come in here in this place of doing something that's for everybody. So I'm sorry, I'm taking from the 4th and giving to the 11th. Given to the 10th to give to the 11th. I'm taking from the support of the stability of the foundation in order to offer it to the building and the structure of the organization, so we can support more people, more of all of the people, right? For the good of everybody. So again, whenever people come in, there's more stability and there's more foundation here for them, right? Because now we have a podcast that some people can go to and say, hey, you know what, I like a podcast and I start my mornings early. Well, look, we got that, right? You can just check out what happened on the last episode, right? What happened on the last Early Bird podcast? It's over here. It's already posted. That's episode 1. Well, that's episode 2. So see, there's a whole support being built right here through our organization. We're building beds. We're building hospitals and schools over here is what we're building, right? That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Like I said, I don't even care about the people who are viewing this right now. It isn't for them. The cards, right? That reading, that's for whoever finds this video when you find this video. It's timeless reading. But what's more important behind that is what's being built around this. Is about, again, the challenging the structure, the status quo of the structure, in order to create a new structure in space and time with different space of mind, right? Different peace of mind, because we're constantly adapting, constantly striving in how we can challenge ourselves to give more, to engage more, and to be more, but on this channel and as people, right? And to actually contribute to a collective growth. Only through truly wanting this can it be possible. And so, all the same, these ideas are here in this conversation, right? Cooking up as I speak, and they're here for anybody, right? They're here for the collective. These are in a different format. This is in a different way. I use the cards some, and I'm talking the other part to relate to certain aspects of your experience and what it is that you have going on. And so you can take these challenges and challenge your foundation and challenge other people's foundations and identity here of your organization in order to contribute more to your collective, right? And to the whole that you see and you have impact on. Whatever you talking about, brother. I got no idea what you're talking about. My bottleneck was honestly growth on the channel, right? Looking for more growth, looking to see more more that was possible in my foundation and in the support here on this channel. So we're definitely looking to do more. And you know what? Is that a failing of the channel? So if I say the channel's not doing well, is the channel a reflection of the people or a reflection of me? Or is it where the rubber meets the road and where I've met the people and where the people meet me? And if that's the case, and it's a thorough space, right? Then we got to ask ourselves what that thorough space is and looks like, and potentially look at like a highway. Consider all people don't take all ways. And some people may never reach out for a tarot reading because they may never have been exposed. And so if I never reach beyond a tarot reading, I'll never be able to introduce somebody to the effect, the power, the potentiality of what a tarot reading can do for them, and working with their energies and their the aspects of their space, right? In their situations. So there's many facets. There are many facets of what makes a prism, and what we are is reflecting a white light, right? A consciousness that we're distilling here for the people. And so, as I say, it's really a challenge. It's a challenge for you, and it's an opportunity for you to challenge your status quo and others in order to incite, instigate more building in your organization, to see more growth for the people and in your contribution to the whole, right? For what's good for everybody. And what's good for everybody is good for you too. So it's coming back to you in the form of better, bigger, stronger, reinvigorated foundation that's going to be strengthened here and going to be made adaptive to better circumstances, new circumstances coming in, trickling down from having made this effort, having made these efforts in the first place. So tell me that's not good podcast stuff. I think that's excellent. I think that's the kind of growth that we need right now. I think we're being challenged in that in our 11th houses right now. If this is the kind of work that we're going to engage in, right, then these are the things that we need to think about. These are some of the principles we need to engage with. So that's what I'm talking about. This isn't for the people right now, right? As much as I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, but there's only like 2 people on here or whatever, and I'm not downplaying that. I'm not short playing y'all. I got 5 likes. I appreciate y'all, but this is a podcast format. So I believe that people can come back, they can see this podcast, and that this is for posterity. This is for future generations. This is for future times. Like I said, the reading here is timeless. The information here is timeless. And this is here in a way for different people to grasp in a different manner. So again, I hate to disappoint, but I really don't, because it's for you, even if you don't see it. So yeah, I scooped up the low-hanging fruit this morning, I took it off the table, and I might not have had as many views going on. I might have had some people that came and some people that went, and people got busy mornings, many of those people showed the love, and I appreciate that. I'm not saying that I don't. But, other people came and went, people who had just had questions and didn't have much, didn't even have but a hi to say, couldn't say hi. But, they sure had questions, they sure were hungry. And while we feed the people, I want to feed more people. I want to feed all the people. I want to do more and make it aware, because perhaps yet these people are not aware that we're here. That's possible. It's possible we're pigeonholed. It's possible we're, in a place of, lesser influence due to the challenge or barrier, the obstacle of stability and comfort itself of what we've built around us. And so just as soon I've been insulated. This channel has been insulated by the people who we have been supporting, by those who we have been feeding. What is it? Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. And so are we giving fish, or are we teaching how to fish? Right? And the personal feels like giving fish. Right? It feels like just feeding. It feels like, soup kitchen, and I would rather be giving out the recipe for future soup kitchens. I'd rather be teaching, engaging in that way. And I definitely want to see new levels of support for this work, so I can contribute more wholly and fully. The channel needs stuff, you guys. The channel has rent, has lights, has needs another computer, needs a graphics card. Much of this channel came together due to me and me squeezing out as much as I can, but I'm only one man. I can only do so much, but my vision is for so much more. If I could, you have no idea the things I would do. You have no idea the limitations that I see. And I look at the fourth, I look at what's coming in. I look at the foundation and the support and the stability of what it is that ultimately I've built, right? Just shooting it straight forward. Right? It's an open book. It's an open story. And whenever you come back, whenever I come back down from the organization, and I look at that support, that foundation, that comfort zone, and we got to say, how comfortable are we, or are we yet too comfortable and remain unchallenged, or, non-generative in some form or fashion from our organization, what is it we've built. And if we look at our organization, what is we built, we can't look at our foundation without looking at what we've done for other people first. And so it's not possible to skip over that. You can, but not rightly. And so it's far more reasonable and logical to look at what our organization has done for people and for others in order to make a valid assessment, a fair assessment of what kind of foundation or stability that this is able to offer, and what kind of opportunities it's able to generate. So whenever we look at, impact, we have to look at spread. We have to look at adaptability and in some ways generality, but it's the collective. It's what's actionable for the most amount of people. We're looking at the highest level of impact, the greatest level of impact. You gotta tell me what you smelling, man. And so, yeah, it comes to a point where we have this this engagement, this impact that we seek to make, and that has to be identified, which then leads us to enacting some sort of change, which sets us on this journey to destabilize that foundation, so that way ultimately we can bring about a greater level of change and impact by not being so comfortable with the status quo and challenging that to transform here, right? So there's no way to grow your organization without then considering the collective and considering your impact and your contribution as a whole, to then challenge the stability of that, so that way adaptation or adaptability will have to occur or take place in order to affect change, right? This will then lead to greater amounts of impact, which then leads to a new adapted support, right? And base. So a lot of energy here, man. Oh, it's over here. I don't know what the maybe we'll take a look at the transits here, but it's definitely out. Yeah, the lion is out. We're not playing games, right? I'm over here and I'm here to do what it is that I do, and constantly being challenged, constantly doing challenging in order to do exactly what it is that I'm talking about. This is exactly that. This is everything that I've been talking about. So this talk has been perfect, right? It's been everything that I've wanted here for it to be. This is it. This is the posterity. This is the good news. This is the good news. That was the bad news, and this was the good news. The good news is that we're actually doing more for you than ever. We're actually making a bigger impact, and we're touching more lives and more people than we ever have. The channel is bigger than it ever has been, and we're seeing more growth and more exciting developmental ways than we ever planned for, we ever even saw coming. I mean, we have a phone line now, right? I have the donation the donation banner up. We have a phone line. you can call in, right? I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that on the tarot channel, on tarot platform. Personally, call me wrong. I've seen it around. I know about the Miss Cleo. You can call in right now for the podcast platform. That's exciting. That's exciting. Now we brought that to this channel, that we're doing that we're getting that engaged, and we're offering that opportunity to connect, with other people, to offer that, personality, that color for the channel. And those are the ideas that we're led to, right? That's how this thing has been growing and developing all along. I have no doubt that it's only going to get better than that, but everyone's got their limitations, and so too, we have to transform the structure. We got to challenge the foundation. If we're going to build bigger, then we got to pour out an even bigger foundation and pour out even more space, right? We got to tear up the old foundation, the old concrete, and level it and plane it and make it even bigger. We have to expand this thing in order to build an even greater organization that's going to be on top of it all, right? Otherwise, we've built too much organization and it's going to destroy the foundation. It doesn't make sense. So what we're doing is tearing up and repouring this foundation to put down something else, so we're putting it down so we can put it on, and we're putting on right here. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah. Well, we're everything tarot. We what's up, Blue? How you doing, love? We are doing that. We are covering so many facets over here, because what we need to, we have to. I do remember the old days. What good days they were. Those were hard times. We're cutting our teeth just like we are now. We still try to see, a couple subs a stream, right? The algorithm is challenging. It swings heavy one way, it swings heavy the other way. And just as that's challenged our stability and foundation of growth, it's challenged everybody's in sequence, and I think that's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing in the long run. It's going to challenge us to have more dynamic content, to reach further into the human experience, and to extract and extrapolate more, and to put it out there in greater ways that are going to serve in different aspects, different areas of life that can touch people right through these facets. So whether that's a podcast, whether that's a live stream, whether that's a call-in show, or where people can call in and voice their opinions, or have a conversation, drop some knowledge too. We just kick it, have a conversation. Whether we're jamming the Nick the Sack, we're jamming the Niko on the my beats and music in the beginning, and we're all catching a vibe on that. Whatever it is that we're doing, we're sharing a vision of connectedness, wholeness, and expression of not just taking whatever, but living our unique experience and building something that means something to us, and that is what this channel is there for. It can't not be, because it wouldn't be successful otherwise. It just wouldn't get me up at 8 or 9 in the morning and put me in front of a camera and a microphone. It really wouldn't. The Wake Up Early Bird podcast came whenever I woke up one morning and it was too early. And I'm the kind that, I sleep pretty deep. I sleep pretty heavy. But whenever I wake up, I don't go back to sleep. I can't go back to sleep. It just, I'll toss, I'll turn. It'll never happen. I'm in a daze. And, whenever that happens, often, times I will, just get up and kind of, trudge around, whatever, kind of slink around the house, have me a coffee, and like wait like hell for that coffee. And I will be in like a borderline like hypnotic state, and I will just kind of like be sitting in a half meditational place, half hypnotic, just kind of plotting. Certain thoughts come in, flashes, waves, and I get feelings stirred up. I like Plus says, it's the fire. Blue. Oh. I hope so. I do. I truly hope to see that level of growth. And y'all are VIPs. I can't forget the people who are out here and cut their teeth with me. Y'all both got blue in your name, so y'all are fancy. Y'all been running with the channel. I know everybody. I built. We have 454 connections, and it's like that's we have 454 subs. I feel like that's 454 connections. I feel like there's nobody who individually, personally, I've seen that I haven't made some type of a real direct connection with. Talking back and forth. That's what I aim to do each and every time. To set that tone, to set that pace, because I think we can. I think I can do that. I think we can do that and have that connectedness that enables an understanding, right? A mutual understanding. And if we could just share that vibe, that energy, that this conscious state of realization, of purpose, of journey, of faith, of balance, of growth, of desire, of hunger, of grit, that is the substance, is the stuffs of of generation, of building. Those are the materials, those are the energies, the building blocks here in the workhouse, to redesign, reshape what it is that you have going on in your life right now, and especially to reapproach your path and your destiny, especially if you've fallen out of that, off of that, have resistance to that or obstacles in that, and you're looking at a toll, and you're looking at the rest of your life on the other side, and maybe that toll is fear or trauma, setback, or other aspects or obstacles that perhaps we're not seeing, or that we've tuned out or reasoned with, or bargained down, and sold out our love somewhere along the way. And so that's what this work is. That's what this action is to restore that. And I think that is such a large task. The world is so full of that. We're almost programmed with that. We're naturally going through that. It's like getting a haircut, because the amount of challenges that we see, oh, Blue, you a sister, Blue. Don't let y'all are all VIPs. Y'all are all VIPs. Y'all are a very special channel. Yeah, hey, what's up, J-Raw? We're just chilling. I am actually doing a podcast. So we're doing podcasts. Well, no, we're doing readings at 12 and at 7 Central Standard Time. But we're definitely not doing readings for the Early Bird podcast. This is just sharing thoughts of growth and career. I suggest you go back. I think this has been a fantastic podcast, especially for the very first episode. Deep thoughts have come out on here. This has been good and building. I'm really glad I did this. I wasn't sure I was going to have anything to say, but here we go, saying a whole bunch. So there you go. Shout out to Spirit on that one. Nearly through our incense, I think that's a great timing plot element. It's this little incense. Like, it tells me when the incense is out, I'm done. When the incense is out, I'm done. All right. We're nearly through. But yes. That's kind of what this whole thing has been about, though. Given that we are nearly done with the incense, it's been about restoration of a foundation and a placehood of being back aspected towards our path, and specifically this episode challenging comfort and stability along that path, because I guess I'll be the first one here to say they're just resting places. It's a pit stop, it's a place of journey, of recuperation, to get more energy back for our experience. We've set out, right? We've done some work, we've engaged, right? Had to share some love, had to communicate to get things done, express some intentions here and desires, and now we're tired having formed this foundation, this stability, and we're gonna get that rejuvenation from our foundation, our stability, our home, and our our family and our love here, and the really the comfort that comes in along with the emotional comfort with that stability and that control here. But this is just such an early development. It's just a rest stop. This comfort, stability, support, control, family is an aspect of rejuvenation. But we're going to come back around to more rejuvenation whenever we again get with our agreements and getting back what we give in exchangement. So by exchanging things here, we're going to restore some of this balance, this stability and foundation that we've lost, in things being how they were, and having that control over how things have been, because we're not just getting our messages straight off right now. But this is a new type of agreement, and so this is offering you respite here on this journey, right? Before we even get to the organization of the structure of you having to deal with the podcast, we're already exchanging different ideas here, and I'm telling you that the bad news is really good news. What seems so bad if I'm not getting my messages in the mornings like I'm used to getting always on this channel is saying, hey, look, this is a different format to stimulate you in a different way, and this is out here for different people to get, because other people might not have any interest or association with tarot. They might not just have discovered how powerful it can be for them. So we have to open up avenues. We got to open up lanes and impact those people all the same, because they just might not know. So that's the new challenge, the new deal, the new commitment is challenging this stability to say, hey, we have more room in our organization to impact more people and to do more. And you know what? You can benefit from this too. So why not help them as well, right? And so this is the kind of change we're performing, we're doing. Plus, I have two siblings. Yeah, I got a brother and a sister. I got a sister and a brother. And so this is a new agreement. This is a new scenario, a new offer, right? But I'm reaching my hand out, reaching my arm out, saying, look, we'll do this together. This is what we're doing. And these are my beliefs around it, right? That's the idea, the theory. And then, boom, here's the organization. This is how we're going to do it. Mornings over here on the Early Bird, Wake Up Early Bird podcast, right? And then there you go. And having done that, having gotten this out, here's the dissemination. This is for everybody. And so there are aspects in this that you can take and apply to your situation to, again, challenge foundation to enact and affect more change within your organization, to impact the whole, to get people to decide to do something else when it comes to offering you stability in your commitments. So from that is the idea. That is the episode 1. That's the bad news, that's the good news, and everything in between. And with that, that's it. Yep. We're through on the incense. The incense is done. So, out of incense, out of time. This is a beautiful podcast for everybody who made it. I appreciate everybody who made it. This was challenging. It's challenging on every level, breaking the ground. The first one's always the hardest, that type of deal. But we look forward to catching y'all on the next one, right? Absolutely. We'll do the episode 2. The next morning I wake up and I'm an early bird. But to all the early birds, stay chirping, right? Stay working and, stay flying, right? Keep your flight high. That was another thought I had before I'm gone. Is, this is a vehicle, how frustrating, Kitty Hawk, all that, flight, you got a vehicle, you want to lift off, and you might feel the air under your wings some, get that engine spinning. There's still got to be tweaks though. We're not completely self-sustaining. There's a difference between flight and catching a little bit of lift. And so again, we got to think about the elements, what it is that we're working with, and how we can utilize this air to propel and to create more, lift. It's amazing what we can do with air. Hot air balloon, airplane, helicopter, birds, wings, flying. It's all air. Taking us to the highest points, I think it's fascinating what we can do with air. And so this is probably why the 11th house is air. But it takes that water. It takes working with the water, working with this 4th house, this foundation, right? Working with that Cancer to get some of that air, to get some of that lift going. So I do think there's some resonance with 11, 22, and 22 coming into 4, and making decisions against our foundation coming from the collective. And so I'm going to leave you with that 4th, 10th, and 11th house for those who are astrology minded. And until next time, very fat peace coming from y'all. Coming to me from y'all. What's up, Andrew? You just missed us. I suggest you run back the podcast. It was excellent episode. Good to see you here. I'm glad you made it in. That was the Wake Up Early Bird podcast, episode 1. Bad news is good news, hosted by Niko. And you can go ahead and follow us on our social media accounts, right? TikTok and Instagram at TakeEverythingTarot. As well, catch us, order a private reading, right? Schedule some time with us, with me. You can get private readings, private tarot readings, as well as natal birth chart readings, astrological, zodiac readings, that type of deal, right? Email us, takeeverythingtarot@gmail.com. So that's it. Until next time, like I said, fat peace. And keep growing, keep chirping, early birds. Later.